Today we will compare representatives of three different directions to find out whose grip is stronger. Climbers, gymnasts and calisthenics athletes are similar to each other both in anthropometry and in the fact that the grip of these athletes is incredibly well developed. But who has the strongest one? Today we are going to find out. And we will start by diving the grip exercises into three categories, where the first one is endurance. My friend Andrew organized a battle in Bali in which absolutely everyone could take part of, regardless of gender, age or sport directions. And the main task was to hang on a bar as long as possible. And the prize for the victory was $250. Surprisingly, a lot of people managed to hang up to 1 minute 50 seconds. But after 30 seconds only 10 people were left on the bar. And after 15 seconds 5 people were left. And at the third minute there was 2 of them left. The winner of this challenge was a calisthenics athlete with the result of 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And it was not the limit, judging by the fact that at the end he did a few pull-ups. Just to let you understand, the athlete Jujimufu, for example, who is mainly engaged in bodybuilding and acrobatics, in the straps could hang only 1 minute and 54 seconds. That is why today we compare athletes who are more or less in the same weight category. But Manus, a rock climber, hung for much longer, but he did it not just on the bar, but on the finger straps. And how much do you think he managed to hang? Could Manus hang for more than 3 minutes as the athlete from calisthenics did? The answer is yes. Manus' results shocked not only Juji and the team, but in my opinion even Manus himself. He hung for 8 minutes and got off simply because the pain was unbearable. But this result was not the limit, which is very obvious. As for gymnasts, 17 years ago to YouTube was uploaded a video comparing Olympic gymnast and orangutan to see who would hang longer. The result of gymnast was 6 minutes and 38 seconds changing hands. But the orangutan, it seems that didn't even realize that he was competing at all. Manus and professional gymnasts competed in the same way in hanging, but already on half-bent arms, in which the gymnast snapped already 1 minute 24 seconds, and Manus was hanging up to 2 minutes. We can conclude that rock climbers have the toughest grip of all the representatives, so we give them 4 out of 5 grips. Gymnasts and calisthenics athletes got 3 out of 5. If you ask me why I didn't give the maximum grade to rock climbers, it is simple, because there are athletes like Jonas Velikovsky. This athlete hung on the bar without changing his hands for 1 hour and 20 seconds. And I don't even understand how this is possible from the point of view of blood circulation. If you have ever tried hanging curtains, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And frankly speaking, by his suffering at the end of this video, it becomes clear that this record was given hard to him from the point of view of overcoming the pain level. By the way, a month ago he posted a video in which he pulled up 704 times in 30 minutes. So as long as there are such athletes, I cannot put 5 grips out of 5 even to climbers. But hanging on a bar is stuffy and long. Now let's move on and evaluate the strength of fingers. Trust me, it's gonna be much more interesting. In both gymnastics and rock climbing, athletes certainly focus on strengthening their fingers. But you know, no one in the world does planches on the fingers except calisthenics athletes, even gymnasts. So if you wanna see maximum finger strength, calisthenics is the way to go. The athlete who performed this planche is called Eric Barcy, and you know what? He's not alone. There are dozens, if not hundreds of calisthenics athletes in the world who are able to perform planches on their fingers. So it is safe to give 5 out of 5 fingers to this category of athletes. But what about the rock climbers and gymnasts? Let's start with the first ones. Climbers are definitely the most trained athletes in the world in terms of finger training. And some climbers demonstrate finger strength no less impressive than calisthenics athletes. I came across a record of this guy, in which he managed to hang with a weight of 165 pounds for 20 seconds, which is actually quite powerful. But he used the world record in vain, because there are some crazy climbers in the world for whom this weight, as Ronnie Coleman would say, for example, how about 352-pound single arm hang? I've already mentioned this athlete in the previous video, and his crazy records and everything he does just blows my mind. For example, I will show you a video that's gonna make your middle finger hurt. On it, Reza, that's the athlete's name, performed pull-ups on the middle fingers with 132 pounds weight. And I don't know about you, but I get phantom pains at this moment. And when he added one more finger on each hand, then without any problems pulled up with a plus 154 pounds. gymnasts. One thing is clear here, the climber's fingers definitely deserve 5 out of 5 thumbs rating, because for me personally what Reza does is no less impressive than the calisthenics planches. But what about gymnasts? Of course they train their fingers too, but most often they do it as an elective along with the wrist training. Most of the specialized finger exercises for gymnasts look like this. You may agree this is a little less impressive than the results of previous lifters, but nevertheless we give gymnasts 2 out of 5 fingers, because even though gymnasts' fingers considered strong relative to many other athletes, they are clearly not the favorite when it comes to athletes from calisthenics and rock climbing. Well, it is time to touch upon the third and final evaluation criteria, and it's of course compression strength. Of course we cannot compare gymnasts and climbers with some heavy athletes from powerlifting or arm wrestling for example, but trust me, they still have something to show. For example, here we decided to compare the grip strength of gymnasts with the grip strength of medical personnel. It was quite funny, but the grip strength of physiotherapists, massage therapists and chiropractors was sometimes stronger than professional gymnasts. I won't claim it, but one of the biggest gymnast scores that at least I was able to find was 155.4 pounds. Maxim Trukhanovets, a representative of calisthenics, pressed out about the same amount at third attempt, 153 pounds. And Adam Ondra, the best climber of present day, pressed out the most, with a score of 161 pounds. However, it is obvious that the athletes are different, and it does not make sense to rate each other separately, given such a small gap. Most of the athletes from calisthenics, climbing and gymnastics that I have seen on the dynamometer show approximately the same result, and that is why they all get 3 out of 5 on the dynamometer. Of course, in overall strength they are far from large athletes, who have no problem showing numbers like this.
Yes. Boom, Nick. Oh, there it is. 102.9.
Well, according to the result of today's video, the gymnasts are in the last place with a score of 9 points. In second place are the athletes from calisthenics with a score of 11 points. And the leaders this time are the climbers with a score of 12 points. And if you like this video, make sure to check the previous one as well, which we dedicated to climbers only, and analyze the secret of their phenomenal strength. With you as always was Fyodor Chepky, and see you soon. I hope soon. Goodbye.